Welcome to our comprehensive documentary that will immerse you in one of the most tragic and pivotal moments in American history, the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. In this video, we will embark on an exhaustive exploration of the numerous attempts on JFK's life, meticulously examining the intricate plans and conspiracies that were devised to end his presidency. We will delve into the elaborate schemes crafted by those who sought to assassinate him, scrutinize the events leading up to his final day, and analyze the series of narrow escapes that marked his presidency. Our journey will not only cover the infamous day of the assassination, but will also seek to uncover why security failed to prevent this tragic event. As we explore these facets, we will piece together the actions, decisions, and circumstances that defined this dark chapter in history. Prepare for a thorough and engaging investigation into every detail of JFK's assassination, as we unravel the complex narrative behind one of the most significant events of the 20th century. Chapter number 1, The Life and Presidency of John F. Kennedy. To fully grasp the gravity of the assassination attempts on President John F. Kennedy, we must first explore his life and presidency in depth. Born on May 29, 1917, in Brookline, Massachusetts, John F. Kennedy was the second son of Joseph P. Kennedy Sr., a formidable figure in business and diplomacy, and Rose Fitzgerald Kennedy. Raised in a family where public service was highly esteemed, Kennedy faced a challenging early life marked by health issues and frequent relocations. But these trials forged his resilient character. His education at Harvard University, where he graduated with a degree in government, was complemented by a distinguished military career during World War II. He served as a naval officer and heroically survived the sinking of PT-109, an experience that honed his leadership skills and heightened his sense of duty. Transitioning to politics, Kennedy's career began with his election to the U.S. House of Representatives in 1947, where he championed social and labor reforms. His effectiveness led to his election to the U.S. Senate in 1953, where he continued to advocate for progressive policies and international diplomacy. The 1960 presidential election saw Kennedy's charisma and vision for a new frontier resonate with the American electorate, leading to his victory over Richard Nixon. As president, Kennedy faced significant challenges. His deft handling of the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962 averted nuclear disaster, while his efforts in advancing civil rights legislation and championing the space race captured the nation's imagination. Domestically, Kennedy was seen as a beacon of hope and reform, while internationally, his leadership was perceived as a symbol of American resolve amid Cold War tensions. Understanding the complexities of Kennedy's life and presidency is crucial as we move forward to examine the assassination attempts that shadowed his administration, providing a backdrop for the intricate plots and their implications that we will explore in detail. Chapter number 2, The Assassination Attempts. John F. Kennedy's presidency was marred by several significant assassination attempts, each underscoring the intense animosity and political turbulence of the era. Before Kennedy even assumed the highest office in the land, he had already attracted the ire of extremist groups and radical elements due to his policies and public stance on various issues. These early threats were indicative of the challenges he would face as president. One notable pre-presidential threat was from a group of radical right-wing extremists who opposed Kennedy's positions on civil rights and his perceived softness on communism. In the years leading up to his presidency, Kennedy had been the target of various violent plots, often involving groups disillusioned with his political strategies and international policies. Although most of these early threats were intercepted, they highlighted the precarious nature of Kennedy's public life and foreshadowed the serious risks he would encounter once he entered the White House. Law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, were aware of these growing threats, but they often struggled with limited resources and incomplete intelligence, which made it challenging to fully neutralize every potential danger. As Kennedy's presidency began, the threat level intensified, leading to several high-profile assassination plots. On November 2, 1961, the assassination attempt in Chicago represented one of the earliest and most alarming threats. This plot was spearheaded by a group of anti-Castro Cubans who were disillusioned with Kennedy's handling of the Cuban Missile Crisis and his administration's overall Cuba policy. The conspirators, led by Carlos Bruguier, had meticulously planned the attack, including scouting locations along Kennedy's motorcade route and procuring firearms. The group was motivated by their belief that Kennedy had betrayed the Cuban exile community failing to adequately support their efforts against Fidel Castro's regime. The assassination plan involved an ambush during Kennedy's public appearance in Chicago, aiming to exploit any lapse in security. However, the plot was exposed due to an informant who provided crucial information to the FBI. The authorities, acting on this intelligence, conducted a series of arrests and prevented the assassination. Despite the foiled plot, it underscored the severe security challenges faced by Kennedy's administration and the persistent threat posed by radical factions opposed to his policies. The assassination attempt in Tampa on November 18, 1963, further demonstrated the extreme risks that Kennedy faced. This plot was orchestrated by a group of right-wing extremists who were outraged by Kennedy's progressive domestic policies and perceived soft stance on communism. The conspirators had planned a sophisticated attack involving a high-powered rifle, intending to shoot Kennedy from a concealed vantage point as he traveled through Tampa. They had scouted potential shooting locations and formulated detailed escape plans to avoid detection. The group's plan included not only the assassination but also the potential for subsequent violence to create further chaos. The plot was discovered thanks to a tip from a vigilant informant who had overheard the extremists discussing their plans. The FBI and local law enforcement acted quickly, launching an investigation that led to the arrest of the conspirators and the prevention of the attack. Enhanced security measures were implemented in response to this threat, including increased police presence and a thorough review of Kennedy's itinerary. The successful thwarting of this plot emphasized the ever-present danger facing the president and the critical role of intelligence and law enforcement in protecting him. These assassination attempts highlight the pervasive threats faced by Kennedy throughout his presidency, revealing a broader pattern of political extremism and violence that characterized the era. Each plot, from the early threats to the more elaborate schemes, underscores the volatile environment in which Kennedy operated and the constant vigilance required to ensure his safety. Chapter number 3, The Day of the Assassination. On November 22, 1963, Dallas, Texas, became the center of one of the most harrowing chapters in American history when President John F. Kennedy was assassinated. The day began with Kennedy arriving in Dallas on a clear, crisp autumn morning, amidst a tense political climate and a city eagerly awaiting his visit. The motorcade route was meticulously planned to maximize public engagement, with Kennedy traveling through key areas such as Dealey Plaza, a location that would tragically become synonymous with his assassination. As the motorcade wound its way through Dallas, Kennedy's schedule included a series of public appearances and meetings designed to boost his political support in the state. The city was a focal point of political unrest, with Kennedy's civil rights and anti-communist policies stirring considerable controversy. As the motorcade approached Dealey Plaza, the atmosphere shifted from anticipation to chaos. At 12:30 p.m., the first shot rang out from the Texas School Book Depository, a sudden and shocking sound that would forever alter the course of American history. Witnesses reported hearing 3 distinct shots fired from the 6th floor of the depository, with the first bullet missing its target, the second hitting Kennedy in the upper back and exiting through his throat, and the fatal third shot striking him in the head. The impact of the bullets was devastating, causing Kennedy to slump forward in the car. As the car sped towards Parkland Memorial Hospital, Jacqueline Kennedy, seated beside her husband, attempted to shield him, desperately trying to stem the flow of blood. The president's car, now a scene of horror, was met by a flurry of emergency response teams upon arrival at Parkland. Surgeons at Parkland Memorial Hospital worked frantically to save Kennedy's life, but despite their best efforts, he was pronounced dead at 1 p.m. CST. The news of his death spread rapidly, with profound shock and grief sweeping across the nation and the world. Public reactions were immediate and intense crowds gathered in silence, many in tears, as the reality of the assassination set in. The global response reflected the widespread admiration Kennedy had garnered during his presidency, and leaders from around the world offered condolences. The assassination was not only a tragic loss but also a profound disruption, prompting an immediate and exhaustive investigation led by the FBI and local authorities. This led to the arrest of Lee Harvey Oswald, a former Marine with known Marxist sympathies, who was later charged with the murder of Kennedy and a Dallas police officer, J.D. Tippit. Oswald's subsequent murder by nightclub owner Jack Ruby only deepened the mystery and spawned countless conspiracy theories. The events of that day set off a chain reaction of investigations and speculation that continue to intrigue and divide historians and the public alike. The assassination marked a significant moment of mourning and reflection both domestically and internationally, fundamentally altering the course of American history and political discourse. Chapter number 4, The Investigation. Following the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, an immediate and exhaustive investigation was launched to uncover the truth behind the shocking event. Central to this inquiry was the Warren Commission, established by President Lyndon B. Johnson and chaired by Chief Justice Earl Warren, which aimed to provide a comprehensive account of the assassination and its aftermath. The commission's formation was a response to the urgent need for an official and transparent investigation into the killing of the president, and it convened to sift through the vast amounts of evidence and witness testimony collected in the wake of the assassination. The Warren Commission's final report, issued in September 1964, concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone in the assassination of Kennedy, a finding based on the evidence that Oswald fired 3 shots from the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository. However, the commission's findings were not without controversy. Many criticized its conclusions for alleged inconsistencies and omissions, sparking numerous conspiracy theories suggesting the involvement of other actors, such as the Mafia, the CIA, or anti-Castro Cubans, and accusing the commission of covering up the true nature of the plot. Alongside the Warren Commission, the FBI, led by J. Edgar Hoover, and the Secret Service played critical roles in the investigation. The FBI's efforts focused on gathering evidence, conducting interviews, and analyzing the extensive materials related to Oswald, while the Secret Service was tasked with assessing the lapses in security that allowed the assassination to occur. Key evidence scrutinized during the investigation included the rifle found on Oswald, which was identified as the weapon used in the shooting, and the Zapruder film, a crucial piece of footage capturing the precise moments of the assassination and providing vital insights into the sequence of events. Witness testimonies, although sometimes conflicting, added layers of detail to the unfolding narrative. But despite this thorough examination, many questions remained unanswered. The emergence of alternative theories, bolstered by public skepticism and the proliferation of books, films, and media analyses, fueled ongoing debate and suspicion about the true circumstances of Kennedy's assassination. This skepticism was further fueled by perceived discrepancies in the investigation's findings and the alleged suppression of critical evidence, shaping public perception and fostering a lasting legacy of doubt and intrigue surrounding the tragic event. Chapter number 5, Why the Secret Service Failed. Understanding why the Secret Service failed to adequately protect President Kennedy on November 22, 1963, is crucial for grasping the full scope of this tragic event. One major factor contributing to this failure was the inadequate security measures in place. The motorcade route through Dallas, while designed to be a grand and public spectacle, was planned with insufficient protective details. The route took Kennedy through areas with limited security, which failed to account for the high risk associated with such an open and exposed environment. Furthermore, the Secret Service had significantly underestimated the potential threats against Kennedy. Despite receiving prior warnings and having credible intelligence about potential dangers, the security preparations remained alarmingly insufficient, leaving Kennedy vulnerable during his visit. Compounding this issue was a severe communication breakdown among the agencies involved. There was poor coordination between local law enforcement, the Secret Service, and other federal agencies, leading to a disorganized response during the critical moments of the assassination. This lack of unified action meant that intelligence warnings about possible threats to Kennedy were not acted upon with the urgency required to prevent the tragedy. Tactical errors also played a significant role in the failure. Notably, there were no Secret Service agents positioned on the rear of the presidential vehicle, which left Kennedy exposed to potential attack from behind. The standard practice of keeping agents close to the vehicle for protection was not followed, reflecting a disregard for established security protocols. Additionally, agents failed to maintain a secure perimeter and to remain vigilant for suspicious activities, which could have alerted them to the impending danger. The immediate impact of these security failures was devastating, as they allowed the assassination to occur and prevented any timely intervention that might have thwarted the attack. In the wake of the assassination, the glaring shortcomings in presidential security prompted a comprehensive review and led to significant reforms. These reforms included the implementation of increased protection measures, enhanced security protocols, and a more rigorous approach to assessing and responding to potential threats, all aimed at preventing such a catastrophic failure in the future. Chapter number 6, The Impact and Legacy. The assassination of John F. Kennedy on November 22, 1963, cast a long shadow over American society and politics, profoundly altering the nation's course and leaving a lasting legacy that continues to resonate today. The immediate impact on U.S. politics was substantial, prompting significant legislative and political changes. In the wake of Kennedy's assassination, there were sweeping reforms in presidential security to prevent similar tragedies in the future. This included the creation of the Secret Service's Presidential Protection Division, which implemented more rigorous and comprehensive security measures. Additionally, there were changes in investigative procedures to ensure a more thorough and transparent approach to dealing with high-profile cases. Kennedy's assassination also influenced the way future presidents approached security and handled national crises. It underscored the need for enhanced protection and led to a more cautious and fortified approach to safeguarding the office of the presidency. The cultural impact of Kennedy's assassination was equally profound. The event was extensively covered in media, including films, documentaries, and books, which have played a crucial role in shaping public memory. The portrayal of the assassination in popular culture has both reflected and influenced how the public perceives Kennedy and his presidency. Media representations have contributed to a complex and sometimes mythologized view of Kennedy, highlighting various aspects of his life and death, while often emphasizing dramatic interpretations. Public memory of Kennedy is also maintained through numerous memorials, museums, and annual remembrances, which serve to honor his legacy and keep his memory alive in the American consciousness. These tributes reflect the enduring impact of his presidency and the collective grief felt by the nation. Ongoing investigations and continued public interest have kept the assassination a subject of intense scrutiny and fascination. Despite the Warren Commission's findings, new research and declassified documents continue to emerge, fueling debates and exploring new theories about the events of that fateful day. This ongoing inquiry into the assassination reflects the persistent public curiosity and the search for definitive answers about what truly happened on November 22, 1963. The assassination of John F. Kennedy remains a poignant and enigmatic chapter in American history, marked by a legacy of profound change and lasting intrigue. As we draw our comprehensive exploration of the assassination of John F. Kennedy to a close, it is essential to reflect on the enduring significance of this pivotal event. The assassination on November 22, 1963, not only marked a tragic turning point in American history, but also set off a cascade of profound changes across the political, cultural, and investigative landscapes. The immediate aftermath saw heightened security measures and a re-evaluation of presidential protection protocols, underscoring the vulnerability of the nation's highest office. The extensive investigations, including the Warren Commission's findings and subsequent inquiries, have fueled a complex tapestry of theories and debates that continue to intrigue historians, researchers, and the public alike. The cultural imprint left by Kennedy's assassination is equally significant, as it has been immortalized through media portrayals and public memorials, shaping the collective memory of an era. These representations have kept the narrative of Kennedy's life and death alive, influencing how generations perceive this historical moment. Furthermore, ongoing research and the release of new information continue to spark curiosity and scrutiny, highlighting the persistent quest for clarity and understanding. The story of John F. Kennedy's assassination, marked by its myriad layers of mystery and consequence, remains a crucial chapter in American history. Its impact extends beyond the immediate aftermath, reverberating through the political and cultural fabric of the nation. As we reflect on this journey, it is clear that the assassination of John F. Kennedy continues to captivate and provoke discussion, ensuring that his legacy remains a significant and poignant aspect of our historical consciousness. As we conclude this extensive exploration into the assassination of John F. Kennedy, we've delved deeply into every facet of this tragic event, from the early threats to the enduring legacy. We've examined the intricate details of the assassination, the investigative efforts, and the profound impact on American society. If you found our journey through history enlightening and comprehensive, please consider subscribing to our channel for more in-depth documentaries and historical analyses. Your support helps us continue to bring you detailed and engaging content. Thank you for joining us on this historical voyage, and stay tuned for more captivating stories from the annals of history.